What's up, guys, gals, and all my fellow cavemen? I'm Sean, and welcome to another episode of Modern Caveman. So today, we're gonna talk about the firearm, the handgun particularly, that more people shoot wearing spandex than anything else. And that is the CZ Shadow 2 Optic Ready Edition. Alright guys, so why spandex? Well, if you've ever watched an IPSC contest, you would understand. Google that shit. Anyways, so this is probably one of the most popular starter pistols in IPSC competition, and it's for a reason. It is amazing. One of the best handguns for the buck, and it's not cheap. Fully metal. This thing is bulletproof and heavy as heck, but the CZ Shadow 2 OR Optic Ready Edition is one of my top favorite guns, and one day when I get into IPSC, which I'm working on shortly and I can look real cool in spandex too, I will be using this. I've got it just for giggles, a Vortex Venom, and it's the 3 MOA on top of it. But this guy, just because, once again, I have astigmatism, that's why I have it. This guy does come with fiber optic sights that work perfectly fine. I have noticed some people have knock them out over time, but they're pretty easy to get and come by, and they're fairly inexpensive. Let's break it down. As you can see, it's completely empty. No mag in it. I'm gonna drop the mag, shoot the trigger. All right, like CZ, they pretty much think through everything. This is some form of the predecessor, the CZ75 SP01. Those were very popular IPSC guns to begin with. This is the latest and greatest. There was obviously original Shadow as well. Let's start from the front to the back. Baby likes it like that. Okay, first things first, obviously this is a 9mm cold forged, hammered, you know what I'm saying, barrel. We do have front serrations. Believe it or not, press checks is incredibly important in IPSC because the last thing you want to do is have to recock that. So everybody double checks as far as I see to make sure that there's one in the round. So it's nice to have that already in there. It looks cool and it's very usable. It is accessory ready. If you wanted to put a laser or heat-seeking missile or something like that down there, it's pretty cool. It is available for you. This particular gun is not ambidextrous, but I know you can flip it. I have seen people do it. But as you can see on this side, there's my hammer release, or sorry, my slide release. There's my safety. There's nothing in it, so it won't let me activate it. Most of the times, IPSC rule states that if you're in double action, this is a double action, single action trigger, which I'll go over, that you do not need to have the safety on. This particular portion I don't like. It's hard to get at. It's further back. I got big hands, more like large, extra large hands, and I have a hard time getting at it. So I end up using my finger, but most of the time you don't need to. Cool things that they've added for competition is basically a speed release here. So on the mag release, it's very textile. Just like the CZ P10C, it shoots right out. Very easy to put in. Put in, take out, it's very easy. Anyways, let's talk about some of the specs. So obviously in Canada it's 10 rounds. In the good old US of A and everywhere else on the planet is 17 rounds plus 1. Now let's talk about one of the downsides, and that's the weight. I mean, what do I have it written down here? It is 46.5 ounces. Well, if you miss, you can throw it at somebody. Like, it's definitely lethal as a hammer as well. It is heavy. This is not realistically an everyday carry gun. Well, it could be, I guess, if you're Schwarzenegger or something, but for the normal human being, this is maybe a little bit too heavy for that. But it is designed to be heavy because it is designed to mitigate recoil. You can see when I'm shooting, I can shoot this incredibly fast and be on target. This is a competition gun. This thing is meant for competition and target shooting. This is not really a self-defense weapon. Obviously it could be used as that, but it's not. So obviously there is a hammer, and it is double action. It is double action. What does double action mean for all my friends that have no idea? Basically, once there's a round in the chamber, you can drop the hammer and it's relatively safe. Originally, you're gonna have something closer to like an 8-pound, and it's a long drag pull. So the first one thing to notice if you are wanting to practice and get into IPSC and get into competition shooting, the top guys that use these double action handguns realize that on their draw, as soon as they're legal and the gun's pacing forward, they're actually starting to squeeze the trigger till they can feel where the break point is. Something they gotta master. And the reason for that is because if you're aiming it and you're putting it up there, it's a long, long pull. And it's heavy. So amongst that time, the dot's kind of going everywhere. However, once we get the first shot, now we're in single action. Listen to this. Ah, ah. Amazing. It's light, it's audible, it clicks in, and I've seen these things just over 2 pounds, just under 2 pounds. These are amazing triggers. You can actually get all the customization done through CZ itself, through CZ's competition shop. But really, when you're in single action mode, this thing goes off incredibly light. And if you can see my video, I'm just pumping rounds down range and I'm keeping everything steady. This is the quickest handgun I have, bar none. Beats all of my Glock, CZ, P10C, all that stuff. This by far is the quickest shooting one I have, and it's mainly because of that single action trigger. So what else? Next to the fact that the accuracy is, different level, a couple things that you're gonna wanna worry about is, once again, what you can add aftermarket. So aftermarket accessories are short and few and far between. There are things you can replace, for example, these handles. You can replace some of the trigger groups. Most of the stuff that you replace is you're actually buying it from CZ. There isn't as much aftermarket products. The other thing to note too, when you buy this Optic Ready version, you actually have to buy different plates separately. Make sure you do that. When you order this firearm, order those plates at the exact same time. Otherwise, you're gonna get it and you're gonna be Optic ready, but not so ready, because you can't put this on without one of these adapter plates. So make sure you do that. Next to that, I don't really have too much else to say. As you guys can see, it's a beautiful firearm. It's blue, really blue. It is incredibly textile. It feels, I don't know, it's heavy, but it just feels so substantial in your hand. This is not like, let's compare it here. Like this, it's nice and light, it's cool, I know it's bulletproof, but it just feels like Lego. Yeah, that's what it feels like, Lego. This feels like some cast iron worker in the Czech Republic decided instead of building a bridge, they were gonna build guns. Yeah, that's what this feels like. This feels amazing. Let's talk about some of the negatives. Negative weight. Negative price. These are negatives if you're not competing, because realistically for this price point, they go up to about 1,800 bucks in Canada. I picked this one up on sale for $1,200, brand spanking new, Optic Ready. For what you get, a lot of these IPSC guys are running $5,000 to $10,000 firearms. So, and these compete. They may not be as quick, as fast, etc., but these compete. These are probably the most dominant firearms in the factory division. These are probably the most popular guns in the factory division, because out of the box, nothing shoots. These were meant for race guns. This is exactly what it's meant for. Next to that, price point wise, like I said, 1,200 to 1,800 bucks is expensive. Weight's expensive. Usability, if it's outside, if you're wanting to carry something, sure, you could probably do it, but realistically, this is probably not the right firearm for you. If you're looking to have something amazing and shoot, 25, 50 yards with this thing, no problem. All day, every day, this is gonna be one of the most accurate and fun guns you have. But it's a range pistol. That's really what it is. It's for fun. If you guys wanna see some more reviews, you wanna see some more handguns, you wanna see me talk shit about more of these different products that I actually love, you know what to do. Subscribe, comment, hit that notification button. that looks like a bell. See, like this. And I'd love to come back and do some more reviews. So anyway, stay tuned. Next week's gonna be insane. You're gonna love it. And yeah, thanks for joining us at the Modern Caveman.